Stephen McBee Jr. of the McBee dynasty. Real American Cowboys is another year older, and his father couldn't be any prouder. McBee Farm and Cattle patriarch Steve McBee Sr. gushed over the 32-year-old in a September 21 Instagram post, reflecting on the overwhelming rush of love, awe, protectiveness, and pride a father feels when holding their newborn child. The proud dad continued to write about his unbreakable bond with the eldest of his 4 sons, explaining how his entire life transformed, and that living was no longer about himself. Wrote Steve Sr., "It is about providing, loving, teaching, training, protecting, and disciplining that child so that they are a better version of a person than he was himself. A lifelong bond and love is formed that can endure the worst of times and never be broken. And in the end, if that father did his job, his children will feel the same when they look at their newborn child." Steve Sr., who now counts himself a grandfather with the additions of granddaughters Blair Collins McBee and Summerlay McBee, wished the eldest a happy birthday in the post, to which Stephen Jr. said, "Thanks, Dad, love you too." Stephen McBee Jr. celebrated his birthday doing his favorite things. On September 22, the acting head of the family business shared a handful of Instagram photos and video clips to show how he celebrated his birthday weekend. He said he had so much fun at the Missouri Quit Company's birthday bash event, where the McBees met up with Southern Charm's Craig Conover and Sally Carson, thanking those who showed up. From the event, he posted an adorable pic of himself and his niece, Blair, the daughter of little bro Cole McBee and Casey Adkisson. "Then, this weekend, spent my birthday doing my favorite things. Time spent with family, evenings spent 20 feet up a tree, and enjoying the views that fall brings on the farm," Stephen Jr. stated. "Wouldn't have it any other way." One pic had Stephen and Cole in their camouflage getup, followed by a video clip of buck deer grazing away, which could only help Stephen add more antlers around his Gallatin, Missouri home. The proud uncle also made time to stop at the gym with his beloved German Shepherd. If that wasn't enough, in a September 21 IG post, Stephen showed off his music skills on the piano when skillfully playing Richard Marx's 1989 hit, "Right Here Waiting." Stephen captioned the video, "Little weekend therapy. Piano ballads just hit a little harder." How the McBees crossed paths with Craig Conover. Over the weekend, Stephen and his father, plus Braden McBee, Jesse McBee, Christy McBee, Galina Salkowska, Cole, and Casey, headed to Hamilton, MO, colloquially known as Quilttown, USA, for MSQ's annual Stitchin Stampede birthday bash. There, the fam sold their farm-raised meats and other merch, participating in several days of meet and greets. On his IG stories, Stephen Jr. called it such a great event, while his dad said on his stories, "This is what Missouri hospitality looks like." Southern charmer Craig Conover got a taste of said hospitality when he launched the Coastal Collection, a line with his new Sewing Down South Textiles brand. He said having the event in Missouri was an incredible honor. For Stephen Jr., though, the trip had an added weight. Turning 32 wasn't just another birthday. It was another milestone in his journey as the acting head of McBee Farm and Cattle, a role he had gradually taken on as his father began stepping back from some of the daily grind. "Every year feels a little heavier," Stephen admitted in a brief Instagram Live he held after the event. "It's not just about me anymore. It's about the family, the business, the next generation. I think about Blair, I think about Summer, and I think about the kind of legacy we're all building here." A family business rooted in tradition. For outsiders, McBee Farm and Cattle looks like an empire. Thousands of acres of prime Missouri land, herds of cattle that have been the backbone of the business for generations, and a reality TV show that has thrust them into the national spotlight. But to the McBees themselves, it's simply home. And Stephen Jr., with his work boots planted firmly in Gallatin soil, feels the weight of both the past and the future every time he walks the land. His father's birthday post had struck a chord with him. When Dad said it's about making sure your kids are better people than you are. That's what stuck with me, Stephen told Evangoers in Hamilton. Because at the end of the day, whether it's farming, ranching, or whatever you do, it's about raising people who can carry on and maybe even do it better. That's the goal. The words resonated especially with those who had followed the McBee dynasty closely. The show had portrayed not only the ranching lifestyle, but also the complicated dynamics of raising 4 sons in a high-pressure, high-expectation household. Arguments, rivalries, and late-night talks around the kitchen table were as much a part of the story as branding cattle or baling hay. The Craig Conover connection. The Bravo crossover with Craig Conover turned out to be one of the highlights of the weekend. Known for his appearances on Southern Charm and his entrepreneurial flair with Sewing Down South, Craig's presence in Missouri was unexpected but refreshing. "It's funny how worlds collide," Christy McBee shared with a laugh in an Instagram story. "One minute we're branding cattle, the next we're talking textiles and pillows with Craig Conover." For Stephen Jr., meeting Craig was less about celebrity status and more about shared values. "Craig's doing his thing, building his brand, staying true to who he is," Stephen told fans. "I respect that. We're doing the same here with McBee Farm and Cattle. Different industries, same idea, family, hard work, and putting your name on something you can be proud of." Craig, meanwhile, gushed about the McBee's hospitality. "You can't beat Missouri," he said in a clip posted to his Instagram. "The McBees are the real deal, salt of the earth, hardworking people. And their beef? Unreal. I'm taking some back to Charleston, no question." A birthday grounded in simplicity. While the event was filled with handshakes, photographs, and networking, Stephen Jr.'s actual birthday celebrations remained strikingly simple, a reflection of his grounded nature. His favorite things post spoke volumes: family dinners, tree stands, deer sightings, piano playing, and the company of his German Shepherd. Fans commented on how refreshing it was to see someone in the spotlight still embrace the little things. "Honestly, I just like slowing down," Stephen said. "Climbing up in a tree stand, watching the sun set over the farm. That's when I feel closest to God, closest to myself. It's quiet. It reminds me why we work so hard." Even his piano playing, which surprised some followers, revealed another side of him. "Music's been my therapy for years," he admitted in a Q&A session. "Sometimes it's country, sometimes it's classic rock, but piano ballads, those just get me. That's where I let out what I don't always say." The McBee family dynamic. With 4 brothers, Stephen Jr., Cole, Jesse, and Braden. Birthdays in the McBee household rarely go unnoticed. Cole, the second eldest, was quick to post his own tribute on Instagram. "Happy birthday to the guy who taught me most of what I know, even if I don't admit it half the time," Cole wrote. "Wouldn't trade the late-night talks, the fights, or the laughs for anything." Jess and Braden followed with their own posts, Jess highlighting their brotherly rivalry on the basketball court and Braden sharing a throwback photo of all 4 brothers in cowboy hats, mud up to their knees. Christy, the matriarch, couldn't resist posting a heartfelt message of her own. "Stephen was my first baby," she wrote, "and no matter how old he gets, he will always be the boy who made me a mom. He's grown into such a strong, compassionate, driven man, and I couldn't be prouder." Galina Saltkowska's presence. Of course, no McBee family gathering would be complete without a little intrigue. Galina Saltkowska, who had been linked romantically to Steve Sr. and stirred up plenty of headlines during the filming of the McBee dynasty, was present at the event as well. Observers noted that she mingled easily with Christy, sparking fresh speculation about the evolving family dynamics. For a family that had been candid about its struggles and complexities on reality TV, the sight of the 2 women standing side by side surprised many fans. "People change, people grow," Steve Sr. said cryptically when asked about the dynamic. "We're a family first. That means forgiveness. That means moving forward. The future of McBee Farm and Cattle. As Stephen Jr. stepped into his 33rd year, the future of McBee Farm and Cattle loomed large. With the reality show opening up opportunities far beyond Missouri, there were whispers of expansion, branded products, more events, even potential collaborations with other reality stars. But Stephen remained cautious. "We've got to stay true to who we are," he said firmly. "It's easy to get caught up in the cameras and the noise, but at the end of the day, it's about the land, the cattle, and the people we love. That's where our roots are, and that's where they'll stay." Still, fans can't help but speculate on what's next. A second season of the McBee dynasty seems inevitable, given the buzz around the family and their crossover into Bravo territory. And if Stephen's piano clips are anything to go by, perhaps even a music project could be in the cards. A birthday to remember. For now, though, Stephen Jr.'s 32nd birthday will be remembered not for glitz or glamour, but for authenticity. Between the Cult Company event, the quiet evenings on the farm, and the tender posts from his family.